Stop scrolling because shocking courtroom footage has just leaked, leaving the internet in disbelief as emotions ran high during Teyana Taylor's ongoing custody battle. Known for her strength and composure, Teyana stunned everyone when she suddenly lost control in front of the judge, her ex-husband Iman Shumpert, and her current partner Pierre. The tension that had been quietly building for weeks finally boiled over, and the outburst not only shook the courtroom, but also led to a dramatic ruling that nobody could have predicted. What was supposed to be a legal discussion about parenting schedules and stability quickly turned into an emotional storm, as Aaron's role in Teyana's life and his connection with her children became the unspoken center of the drama. Observers noticed early on that Aaron's closeness with the kids blurred the lines between boyfriend and stepfather, with some seeing him as supportive while others, especially Iman, viewed it as interference. That quiet tension exploded when Aaron was asked about his involvement in the children's daily routines. His answer, though calm on the surface, gave the impression he was stepping into a position that wasn't rightfully his, and it instantly triggered Teyana. After holding back all morning, she suddenly snapped, her voice cutting through the air as she turned on Aaron in front of everyone, accusing him of confusing her children and overstepping boundaries. Her words echoed across the courtroom, drawing gasps and even making the stenographer pause in disbelief. The raw anger of a protective mother poured out, but in that heated moment, the damage was done. Aaron looked stunned, caught completely off guard by her words, frozen in silence while the judge quickly intervened to restore order. But instead of simply calming the room, the judge went further, declaring that Aaron's visitation privileges with the children would be suspended until a proper review could be held, sending shockwaves through the courtroom. The weight of that ruling hit Teyana immediately, as her anger gave way to heartbreak, her face crumbling into tears, as she realized her outburst had cost her more than she anticipated. Aaron, meanwhile, sat in stunned silence, pale and shaken as the reality set in that his bond with the kids had been publicly stripped away in an instant. Losing visitation rights, even temporarily, wasn't just a setback, it was a declaration that his role in the children's lives was under question, and the embarrassment was undeniable. While Teyana and Aaron were left devastated, it was Iman's subtle reaction that caught the most attention. He remained calm and composed, but some onlookers claimed to notice the faintest smirk on his lips, as if he had been waiting for this exact moment, finally receiving validation for his concerns that Aaron's involvement was disruptive. The drama didn't stay in the courtroom for long because within hours, shaky cell phone footage of the incident surfaced online. The video, showing Teyana yelling at Aaron and the judge delivering the shocking ruling, spread like wildfire across social media platforms, instantly becoming one of the most talked about clips of the week. Millions of people watched, shared, and debated every second, with some defending Teyana as a mother pushed beyond her limits, and others criticizing the lack of restraint that ultimately backfired. Memes, comment threads, and heated arguments filled Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, turning what began as a private custody matter into a public spectacle. The fallout from this moment is still unfolding, but one thing is certain, this case is no longer just about custody schedules, it has become a deeply personal and highly public battle, where every word, every glance, and every emotional slip will be dissected by both the legal system and the court of public opinion. For Teyana, Aaron, and Iman, the stakes have never been higher, and this one explosive moment may end up defining not only their family's future, but also their public reputations for years to come. Fans were left completely split after the explosive courtroom footage surfaced, with many rushing to defend Teyana Taylor, arguing that her outburst was nothing more than a mother fiercely protecting her children from being confused or emotionally manipulated, and pointing out that when someone feels their babies are at risk, instinct takes over and composure becomes secondary, while others criticized her reaction as reckless and damaging, saying that in a custody battle where every move is watched closely by the judge, there is no room for emotional slip-ups, and that by losing control she may have handed Iman Shumpert the advantage he had been waiting for all along. On social media, the divide was clear and passionate, as hashtags like #TeamTay flooded timelines with support, while just as many tweets carrying #JusticeForAaron painted a very different picture, with his defenders portraying him as an innocent bystander dragged into a family war that was never his to fight, claiming he had no desire to replace anyone, but was simply trying to be present for Teyana and her children in a caring way. Still, as many pointed out, in the cold and rigid atmosphere of a courtroom, intentions mean little compared to appearances, and once tempers flare, the consequences can be swift and unforgiving. Legal experts wasted no time dissecting the drama, analyzing the ruling like sports commentators breaking down a final play, emphasizing that the suspension of Aaron's visitation rights was not a permanent ruling, but was far from light, sending a clear signal that stability and consistency will always outweigh passion and emotion in the eyes of the court. One attorney summed it up in the bluntest way possible: when a judge sees instability, they start questioning whether the environment is truly safe for the kids, and that, they said, is exactly what happened here. For Teyana, who is usually celebrated for her strength and composure, the sight of her leaving the courtroom in tears with her mascara streaked down her face, clinging to her attorney's arm for support, was heartbreaking and telling. It was not the image of a mother firmly in control, but rather of a woman crushed by the pressure of both public scrutiny and personal heartbreak. Aaron walked out shortly after, his face tight, his jaw clenched, his lips sealed shut, refusing to engage with reporters, but saying everything with his silence, which radiated frustration and disappointment, leaving many to believe he felt betrayed by a system that had not even given him a fair chance to explain his role. Then there was Iman, cool, calm, and to some even smug, leaving with his head high and shoulders squared, walking like a man who had gotten exactly the result he hoped for, fueling speculation that this was the win he had been quietly waiting for, and that the momentum of the entire custody case may have just shifted in his favor. Analysts were quick to raise the possibility that this single ruling could mark a pivotal turning point, and fans joined the conversation too, debating whether justice had been served or whether emotion had been punished unfairly. But either way, the bigger questions remain unanswered. Was Teyana truly out of control? Or was she provoked beyond reason? Was Aaron really stepping over boundaries? Or was he simply trying to care for children caught in the middle of a painful family split? What happens next? A new hearing, more leaked footage, another round of headlines. One thing is certain: while this courtroom saga makes for dramatic content and endless debate online, at the center of it all are children who did not ask for any of this, who are now caught in a storm of egos, heartbreak, and tangled relationships, hoping that when the noise fades, someone will remember that the fight should not just be about them but for them.